Hey guys, it's Camille Martin with Love to Lose, and this is where I teach you how to love your life and lose the weight. In today's video, I want to talk about the baby steps approach to habit change, because so often we want the quick fix and we want to make all of these changes all at once. No surprise, because we're brainwashed by dieting culture. But a baby steps approach is really the only way to get permanent changes. And in the video today, I want to tell you how it works and also how to develop the mindset that helps you implement a baby steps approach to changing all of your habits. The problem is that we want to make huge changes all at once in a very short amount of time, and we have to use willpower to do that. And the thing about that approach is that your changes don't last. With a baby steps approach, however, little tiny baby steps are really easy to take, and you get small wins along the way that build your confidence. And then in the end, you end up getting permanent changes, which is what you want. Taking baby steps sounds weak because it's got the word baby in it, but actually tiny baby steps are really powerful. And the truth is, you are taking tiny baby steps all day long. You're just not thinking about it, and they're the wrong baby steps, and they're bringing you results that you don't want. So for example, every time you decide that you don't feel like working out, or you get on the treadmill for 5 minutes and then quit and get off, or you grab one more handful of M&Ms, these are all baby steps that you're taking throughout the day that are just leading to results that you don't want. So we're all kind of averse to taking small steps to get the changes that we want because we want the big payout. But again, that requires willpower, and willpower runs out, and that just doesn't work, and you're back to square one. But when you start taking baby steps that are really easy to make, it's not the individual steps. You're afraid that if you adopt that mentality, you're going to backslide, you're going to lose your motivation, you're not going to see big changes. But when you start layering those baby steps one on top of the other, that's when they start to multiply and you get really, truly exponential results. So now let's talk about how you can put the baby steps approach into your routine so that you can change your habits and get results. Step one is you want to adopt a long-term mindset. We all have a short-term mindset. We want changes and we want them right now. But if you look far enough into the future, you can get the mindset that is what's required so that you can embrace this baby steps approach. And it's hard to do that if you're used to looking just right here in the future, just, like 1 month from now. So how do you adopt a long-term mindset? I like to use the quote. It's one of my favorites. A year from now, you'll wish you had started today. So think about it. A year ago, where were you? And think about all the tiny baby steps that have led you to this point. You have nothing to lose by looking far into the future, and you really will wish that you had started today if you think of yourself a year from now. Step two is to make a list of all the baby steps that you can come up with that would work toward changing your habit. So for example, if you have a habit of sitting in front of the TV after dinner and eating ice cream while you watch Netflix or something, and I always use this example because it used to be one of my habits, you could make a list of changes. For example, you could cut the portion size in half. You could use a smaller bowl. You could add blueberries to put on top of your ice cream, or you could add a handful of blueberries and gradually let those replace the ice cream. You could watch your show, then eat ice cream after, slowly and mindfully. And when you've made your list, you want to order them from easiest to hardest. So it might be easier for you to add a handful of blueberries to your ice cream. That might be easier than completely not eating ice cream and then eating it after you watch your show. So you want to order them in the easiest so that when you take the first step, you can get a small win. Once you have your list ordered, you take the first 2 baby steps, or 3 if you're really feeling ambitious, and you implement the first change on day 1. And then on day 2, you keep with that change. And if you feel good about it, you can add another change. And then you add another one, and so forth. I don't recommend doing too many at once because then you're back to the whole all or nothing mindset. But as you start implementing these small changes, they start layering one on top of the other. You make your first change, second, third, fourth, and the whole time you're getting up to the higher number of baby steps, you're still putting into place that first one. So you really do start to see tons and tons of progress, and that is when you get permanent results. So to wrap it up, permanent changes is obviously what you want, and you want to get momentum. And in order to get momentum, you take small consecutive steps that give you small wins and make you feel positive about what you're doing. And then that makes you continue, which is otherwise known as momentum. What we don't want to do is to pour gasoline on a fire and then it flames up and flames out. That's what we usually do when we're dieting. What you want to do instead, think of it as lighting a fuse of a stick of dynamite, and that fuse slowly builds and builds, and then all of a sudden you do have an explosion of big results, but this time they last. I really hope this video helped you, and if you liked it, please click like and share it with a friend, because everybody needs the love, everybody needs the encouragement, and they need strategies that actually work. If you haven't already signed up to get my weekly newsletter, head over to my website at camillemartinrd.com. Get yourself signed up to get more inspiration and motivation on your weight loss journey. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you here next time on Love to Lose.